Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on SoTellUs Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. The weekend is over. Monday was successful. I know I always say this, but it's like the whole thing in marketing when you have to touch someone 7 times in order for them to take action. I'm going to continue to say that until you believe that the Mondays are no big deal. You're going to let that go. You're going to say, I love Monday. I do love Monday. I tell you what, I mean, it's great to go home and be with my family for the weekend and everything, but by Monday, I'm ready to get back to it. I'm ready to get moving, and I am motivated. So that's just something I've had to learn over the years. And as entrepreneurs, we should love our Mondays, right?
Yes.
It's a day to be successful, a day to start off the week and, reach our goals. We're not going to reach our goals by sitting at home, eating potato chips, watching football or basketball, baseball, whatever. And so it's Tuesday morning, right?
Yep.
Right. Today, we're going to be talking about your voice. Your voice is very important when it comes to your business. Now, when we first start out in business, we're doing everything. We're wearing all the different hats, and marketing is such a key piece of business and growth. And we're very involved in the marketing when we first start.
Yeah.
But as we grow, as we get bigger, we may hand those reins off to, employees that help out with the marketing. We may hire a employee that's their whole job is marketing.
Yeah.
We may hire an outside firm that their job is marketing. The biggest problem that I see when people do this is their voice gets lost in that marketing and in all of that. And so we're going to be talking about why it's important for your voice to stay strong when it comes to marketing. Because it may not be exactly what you're thinking and hearing what I'm talking about right now, but it's going to all come together in the end and you're going to love it. It's going to change everything. All right, Troy, jump in.
All right. So why is it important to keep your voice in the marketing? Well, first and foremost, consumers are looking for quality and they're looking for price, but they're also looking for a connection, right? They're looking to purchase those services from somebody, not just big corporate America, but actually from somebody. I mean, how many times have you heard the phrase, people buy you, not your product?
Well, yeah, because nobody's going to believe in you and your product and what you're doing more than you.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe in it that much, guess what? It's going to come through, and that's probably why your business is struggling.
Exactly. I want you to think about it for a second. If you had someone else talk about your product and, tell what your product is and everything like that, it's probably not going to sound as good, as cool, as exciting as if you talk about your product, right?
Right.
That's your voice. Your voice makes the difference. And sometimes when you hire a marketing agency, they can say the same thing, but not in the same way and not with that same excitement, right? So you need to make sure that, people are buying from you, they're not just buying the product. And then how many times have you said in your business, if I can just get in front of the prospect, I can close the sale?
Yeah, just put me in front of them and I'll close them every time.
Why is that? Is it because of your marketing agency? No. Is it because of the marketing that they're doing? No, it's because of you and your voice, right?
Yep.
And so again, if that's what works for you and your business, and then you take that out of your marketing's not going to work.
That's right.
So another reason why you want to make sure that your voice is in the marketing is so that there is consistent messaging.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget about this. When someone visits your website and learns about your business and then meets with you or someone from your business, the messaging should sound familiar, right? They picked your business from your website and from your marketing for a reason.
Right.
So if you then show up or your employees show up and the messaging is totally different, then they're going to be like, what the heck?
Oh, perfect example. When we go to events And Troy and I, if it's a worthy event, we're there.
Yes.
That's like, if it's, a so-so event, we send the B string. That's the B team, right? But if it's a worthy event, Troy and I are going to be there because, again, nobody believes in and loves this product as much as we do. And no one's going to sell it as good as we do. Now, our team's pretty darn good and pretty dang close. But when we go to an event and we sell it, and then our team takes over after that, that messaging is the same.
Yeah.
They may jump back on with our sales guys. Guess what? They're going to hear the same messaging. And like I said, our guys are pretty darn good. Like they're going to be, the person's definitely going to feel like it's similar, even in the excitement.
Yeah. The tone. Everything.
Same thing with our support, right? Our success coaches. Anybody that's going to be touching them in our company, right? Touching this process that happens after they buy is going to have that same feel as when they first purchased.
Yep,
and
exactly.
That's key.
Yeah, so ways to do that is you want to use the same terms.
Mm-hmm.
You want to use the same phrases, in whether it's your website, your marketing, or your sales pitch.
Yep.
And you should even use the same examples and analogies. It's really funny because like when you listen to our sales guys, first off, we helped create every one of their sales presentations, right? And then we give them, hey, this is the story that I tell here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the analogy that I give here. And you'll hear our different sales guys on the phone, and it's like, boom, same story, boom, same story, boom, and they're all hitting it, and they're hitting it at the exact same time. Right. And as we go to events and as we meet people and we share things, we come back and we meet with the sales team and we say, okay, great. Hey, here's this new story. Here's this new thing. Hey, I just talked to one of our customers. Here's this awesome thing that happened with them. And you could plug this into your presentation right here.
That's right. And that's, something that we do, and we've preached this before, but we record every phone call. It doesn't matter if it's my sales guys or my support guys, we record every phone call. And so we are able to go back and listen to those.
Yeah.
Troy and I will even walk in and just listen to them live, talk about the pressure's on when the boss walks in the door and listens to you live. And that doesn't matter if it's support or if it's sales, that is happening because we will be like, hey, just so you know, if you were to just say it like this, that resonates a little bit better. Because again, nobody's going to have it quite as good as we do because we invented it. We created it. It's our baby.
Yeah,
we built it the way that we wanted it to be portrayed.
And that's the key because, you're not going to be there all the time to be able to say, hey, this is what you need to do and this is how you say it, right? But if you create systems and you create kind of the terms and the phrases, then your team can build off of those in, answering their questions. And like with our customer support, I can't tell you how many times I've walked in and they'll be like, hey, how would you say this to this customer?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I would say this. And they're like, okay, perfect. That's exactly what I wrote.
Yep.
And same thing with the sales team. In fact, I was sitting there and I was listening to one of our sales guys just last week and he did a phenomenal job. And at the end I said, hey, Ryan, come in here real quick. And he's like, yeah, what's up? And I said, hey, I have 3 things for you. I'm like, I would suggest you maybe change this and maybe this, and then clarify this right here. And he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, were you listening to the entire demo? Yeah, of course I was. He's like, oh, I thought you were just kind of working over there in the corner. I was working in the corner, but I was listening to you as well. So,
and you know what? And they receive it very, very well
Absolutely.
Because they know what we're doing is we're just trying to help them be more effective, which in turn makes them more money, which in turn makes their wives and, their spouses happier.
Yep.
And their family and life happier. So it's all with good intention. It should never be from a place of like, you're doing a crappy job.
Yeah.
No, it's hey, you're doing phenomenal. And if you just were to tweak this and this and this, awesome. And that's a huge mistake that people make all the time. When Troy and I are out doing our consulting, we'll walk in a business and we'll be like, hey, so have you listened? Let's pull up some of your front desk person's calls. Let's pull up some of the recordings. Oh, I don't have recordings. I tried to do recordings and the front desk, my guy or my gal got really mad. He or she didn't want to be recorded. Red flag, red flag, red flag.
Yeah.
And when we've done these different things and we do set up the call recordings, we have clients that are blown away that someone who's been working for them for 20 years still does not represent their company the right way. And they had no idea though. So if you are not recording the calls, record them. And if your employees have a problem with that, what the heck are they saying that would concern you? that would make them mad that they're being, that's an invasion of privacy. I had one person tell me,
Oh, I remember that.
my employee said it was an invasion of their privacy. What privacy? This is a company phone at the office, and you're talking to my clients. What do you mean an invasion of privacy? I said, you got to go back, and I'm telling you, that person is saying things that you don't want them to say, or they're not doing their job, or they're not picking up the phone, or something is happening.
Yeah.
Sure enough. Yeah, I don't think that person stuck around very long with that company after that. No,
All right. So what types of marketing does your voice matter the most? Okay. So here's some examples. Your website is a big one. You know, that's where a lot of people are going to learn about your business is through your website. So make sure that your voice is in there. I can't tell you how many times we've had clients say like, oh, I just want you to write my entire website for me.
Oh, I know.
You know, and then as we write it and bring it back to them, they're like, well, that really doesn't sound like me.
Duh.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It
sounds
doesn't
like
sound
us.
You. It sounds like us.
Yeah.
So your website, you should be actively involved in that, in the content on your website. Social media is another great place, especially if you're doing like, you know, frequent posts, if you're trying to grow that, you know, base of followers, you should be definitely involved in that. Your print materials. If you have things that you're handing out to, you know, potential clients, you should, you know, that should be through your voice, what's being handed out to them. A big one, this is a huge one, email marketing.
Yeah.
So, you know, we did this, we've talked about it in the past, but we have an amazing, you know, sales campaign or funnel that we've built for anybody that becomes a prospect and wants to learn about SoTellUs. And it's like a 12-stage, you know, with I don't know how many emails.
And when we say it's amazing, to the tune of that it does millions of dollars for us.
Yeah, exactly. It's
legit.
Yeah, it's legit. It's that good. But, you know, when we first did it, we had one of our employees kind of take the reins on it, and he was working with our marketer and stuff like that, and they did a really great job.
Right.
But we quickly realized as well that, you know, we need to get in there and we need to put our voice into it. So we gave a lot of our input and changed things. And in fact, we were just talking about it the other day. It's been a couple of years. So we're like, we need to go back through the entire campaign. We're talking, you know, 60, 70, 80 emails, text messages, all this stuff. And we're going to go back through and we're going to rewrite it again.
That's right.
You know, update it again in our voice.
That's right.
To make sure that it's saying exactly what we want it to say, because that's going to increase the conversions.
Right. And the thing is there are places that you don't need your voice necessarily heard. And then there are things like this, the list that Troy just gave you, where your voices do need to be heard. And here, my opinion is, and I tell people, if you're going to have an opinion on this, if you want it to be your voice, then you better write it.
Yeah.
But if you're not willing to write it, then you can't expect it to be in your voice.
Very true.
So you can't have it both ways. Sorry. This is a cake you cannot eat. You may have that cake, but you cannot eat it.
Yeah. And another big one, like Trevor said, one of the other really big ones is your sales presentation.
Mm-hmm.
That should be in your voice,
100%.
you know, and you know, again, we're not excluding the feedback and ideas from our sales team.
Oh, no.
Not at all. In fact, we're taking their experiences, we're putting it in there too, you know, and we're making it everybody's voice, if you will, but we're making sure that we're controlling that messaging and the voice that's behind it. One of the types of marketing that's probably less important to have your voice in would be like Google ads.
Yeah.
Or Facebook ads.
No.
Right? You really don't need your voice.
No. You need a voice. That's where you need the expert. That's where you need, like, I come in and we're going to use our little tweaks and tricks. I mean, there's only 89 characters that can be put in there anyways. So you don't need your voice there. You need to focus on your voice being after they click the ad. My job is to get them to click the ad. Your job is to close them once they've clicked that ad.
Exactly.
So that's where your voice matters.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Anything else, Trevor, you want to go over before we hit the homework?
Nope. That's perfect. Let's hit homework. Take a look at your marketing and make sure that your voice is heard in it. Ooh, hard one. Hard one. I think by the end of this one, you better understand that. That's what we've been talking about this whole time. So make sure you take a look at your marketing, because probably you've been doing your flyers for a long time. You probably have been you had your website up forever. Have you revamped it? Have you added to it? Have you changed it? Your business has probably evolved in some way or another, whether it's a service business that maybe you're using different products now. Maybe you've added more products or better tools to your crew, right? So make sure you go through periodically as well and update that. Like Troy and I, we talk about our numbers. We talk about how we have weekly meetings. We sit down with the whole company. And one of the things we do is we go over the numbers in there. And so we have all these percentages. And I look at, how many people opted in, how many people went from an opt-in to a scheduled demo, how many people went from a scheduled demo to an actual attended demo. Yes, thank you. Attended demo. And then how many people from an attended demo closed? And so those percentages, we look at that and we go, okay, if we're lacking in one of those percentages before the close, right? We go, maybe our messaging is a little off. Yeah. If we go back and look at our campaign, if we go back and look at how we're saying things, our emails that are going to them and our text messages that are prompting them to schedule that demo and then to show up to that demo, right? We look at that and we say, we can improve that and get that percentage up.
Yep.
So knowing your percentages is also a big deal. Yeah. Knowing your numbers. All right, everybody. Thanks for spending another Tuesday morning with us at SoTellUs Time. And we will check you guys out next time on SoTellUs Time.